Oh, yeah. Basement Tapes number 83. I think I nailed the engineering there. Pretty proud of myself. Usually I'm scrambling for stuff, taking a nervous swig of my water. But we're still in 1959 here, and we are, boy, gosh, we're going to talk about the 1959 Topps football set. And football, you say? I love football cards. I love old football cards. 1979 Topps. 1959 Topps, I should say. It told you about the 57, kind of looking like the 58, uh, the 58 looking 58 football looking like the 59 baseball. Now the 59 Topps, although it isn't, most of the cards aren't landscape, it does alternate letter coloring, a la 1960 Topps baseball. So we're seeing some experimental stuff happening here. Usually only happens in college, but we're seeing it right here in our cards. I have 176 of these, and I'm proud to announce that this is my oldest completed football set to date. So 176 of these, 177 total cards, we're told, and this is a very unique set. And I'll buckle up, folks. I'll tell you why. Average value $14.62, $2,587 total value. So it's not that big of a deal price wise. $600 to $1,200 for a complete set out there on the street, says Beckett OPG. So inexpensive from the 50s football set. So yeah, let's talk about this. Beckett OPG tells us that the 1959 Topps football set contains 176 standard size cards, which were issued in two series of 88. So we have standard size cards now, folks, 2.5 by 3.5, which is awesome. The cards were issued in penny, nickel, and cello packs. The cello packs contain 12 cards at a cost of 10 cents per and were packed 36 to a box. Card fronts contain a player photo over a solid background. Beneath the photo is the player's name in red and blue letters. Beneath the name are the player's position and team. The card backs were printed in gray on white cardstock. Statistical information from the immediate past season and career totals are given on the reverse. Card backs include a scratch-off quiz. Team cards, parentheses included with checklist backs, as well as team pennant cards are included in this set. The key rookie cards in this set are Sam Huff, Alex Karras, Jerry Kramer, Bobby Mitchell, Jim Parker, and Jim Taylor. The Taylor card was supposed to portray the great Packers running back. Instead, the cards depict the Cardinals linebacker. Crazy, huh? Anyway, again, probably your Jimmy Brown, your Johnny U, and your Bart Starr, your top three, I would imagine. Let's go to the tape here, as they say, or let's spool back the reel. Jim Brown, Johnny Unitas, and Bart Starr. Apparently, there's a Topps ad in there too. But Paul Hornung is a big gun as well. So JB, as I call him, JU, as I call him, and BS, as everybody calls him, your top three. Let's go over to TCDB and look under the hood a little further. 1959 Topps, 176 cards total. Teams depicted include the Baltimore Colts, Chicago Bears, Chicago Cardinals, for perhaps the last time, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Los Angeles Rams, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, and your former Washington Redskins. Hall of Famers in this set, 35. There are a lot of them. Many you've heard of, many you have heard not of, if that is a saying. So anyway, they're all there. The greats from the 50s and the 60s. Rookies, we talked a little bit about the rookies. There's 52 of them in there, so a lot of the set is rookies. Too hard for me to do the math, but more than 25% and not quite 35%. Comments. Let's go to the comment section. Roy Boy, Connecticut says the majority of these images are added courtesy of footballcardgallery.com. So Roy Boy pumping the footballcardgallery.com again. Packaging, wonderful football box there. The typical football pose a la Heisman. Topps Pro Football Bubblegum 1 cent plus guess what quiz on every card. And the 5-cent box is a little more elongated. It's got bubblegum in it, according to the box. And boy, there's also a hobby box, it looks like, that looks nothing like the other box. The 1 cent wrappers are beautiful. It calls out our Topps Pro Football Bubblegum 1 cent plus guess what quiz, and as do the 5 cent wrappers. Cello packs laid out there for all to see, and I think this is a kind of a cool set. We see cards evolving, and we see where they're cross pollinating with baseball a little bit as well. So let's go up to the trivia. Card backs include a scratch off quiz, is all we're told at that point. So the cards themselves, again, all the players are portrait design, and the teams and the pennants are landscape. So Johnny U is our number one player here. Card number one, I should say. Johnny Unitas, quarterback, Baltimore Colts, height 6'1", weight 190, age 20 something something. Went to Louisville, and 4 years of pro. Has his year stats and his life stats, as we said. What passing record did John set last year, says the quiz. TD passes in 14 straight games is the answer. Rub edge of coin over this space for magic answer. Of course, we'll see that later on in baseball as well with our 64 tops and so on and so on and so on. So beautiful cards. We see a Detroit Lions team card. Kind of looks like the 59 baseball with some sort of team photo superimposed on an oval, almost an egg, an interesting team logo on the top, and of course, Detroit Lions screaming across the bottom. This is the checklist for the first series on the back of this card, on card number 3 for the team cards. The entire checklist. Pennant from the Steelers here, card number 9. So it's some shenanigans happening in the trenches, but a Steelers pennant prominently displayed above that, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers name above that. Again, a horizontal card. The Steelers logo is a football, and inside of that football is a steel mill. Steelers fans consider it a successful season when their team beats the neighboring Eagles and Redskins. Pittsburgh trounced Philadelphia twice, beat the Redskins once, and tied them last year. They also triumphed over the Giants. Who caught the most touchdown passes last year? I cannot read that answer. My apologies. But Jimmy Brown, card number 10, looks gorgeous. Jim Brown is ready to kick your tail. Classic Browns logo in there. Again, the team cards have the checklist for the entire series, not just the teams on there. So beautiful little set here. Small little set. And it's a set, again, that I proudly own in its entirety. And that makes me happy because that makes me a real vintage football collector. And so that's it. 1959 Topps football. This will, interestingly enough, at card 104, the Bears is the first series checklist, even though it's in the second series. So they're bopping back and forth these team cards. Things would change drastically in the next year, 1960, in football. AFL will come into existence. We'll have other cards popping in from other manufacturers. We'll have regional stuff, all that. I have some surprises there, some pretty cool surprises there. Maybe I'm the only one impressed, but there will be some cool stuff starting in 1960 for football. There's Johnny David Crow running around with a cardinal on a football chasing him. So anyway, great football history here. You get to see the old uniforms. You get to see kind of what the uniforms that I'd like to see them wearing again, or at least the style. And real fun stuff. A lot of drunk uncles here. A lot of people that you would not think of athletes, but they certainly are a lost generation of athletes. These folks, they just would beat the crap out of each other for essentially beer money back in the day. But football was starting to raise in stature throughout the country, and it gets on pretty hard and heavy in the 60s. So that's it. 1959 Topps football. Get some, I got some, you get some, we'll all have some. See you, bye.